I spend a lot of time working in different languages. So a lot of documents I go through automatic translators sometimes, and actually it often gets translated as Attorney General or something like that. So you might say I'm the equivalent of an Attorney General in civil terms. That's my role for the order. I met the Order of Preachers when I was a student at university. It took me a little while to actually cross the threshold of the priory, but once I met the friars, saw the work they were doing, and I suppose had an opportunity to reflect prayerfully on my own life and where the Lord might be calling me and how he might be asking me to use the gifts he's given me. The Dominican friars at least seemed to be a good enough fit to try, and it seemed to work so far. Well, the Procurator General gets his title from the fact that he has to procure canonical favours from the Holy See. So when the order or any of the brothers in the order or the provinces have to ask for a permission or a dispensation or an approval from the Holy See, that is from the Pope, or more usually from one of the dicasteries, the departments of the Roman Curia, that passes through my office. There's something which is historically more of a secondary role in that, because a lot of that business involves canon law, the Procurator General has come to be seen as the canonist, the canon lawyer of the General Curia of the Order. And also because the Procurator General is a member of the General Council of the Order, I tend to be the person who gets asked a canonical opinion about various questions that come into Santa Sabina, that's where the General Curia is in Rome. Even if it doesn't involve the Holy See, I provide that canonical opinion. I think one of the things that any lawyer, but certainly a canon lawyer, needs to be very clear about at all times is what the purpose of the law is: to serve the common good, to bring about justice. And whenever lawyers get into, you might say, playing games with rules to serve private interests, they've lost sight of what the law is for. The law is there to serve our community, to serve our society. The law is there to serve justice. I think Pope Francis is among other things, famous for having a certain healthy suspicion of lawyers, whom he occasionally refers to as being rigid. A canon lawyer, any lawyer, shouldn't be rigid, but should have a sense of compassion for those he or she is serving and for whom he's trying to bring about justice. Dominican friar of my province, Herbert McCabe, once asked me, he said, don't you believe in God's mercy? And I said, well, I do, but I very much believe in God's justice as well. St. Thomas Aquinas, Dominicans often talk about St. Thomas Aquinas, interestingly puts penitence as a species of justice. That in penitence in a certain sense, we judge ourselves and we impose a penalty on ourselves. It's sort of a self-judgment. That leads us towards mercy. It leads us towards God's mercy. So I think in justice there does have to be a certain honesty with ourselves and also with others, but for the common good of our society, and that will mean that sinners receive mercy. That will mean that pardon is given. That will mean that the grace of God is shown to those who need it, after justice has been recognized and working out his mercy in the world. And the lawyer, the canon lawyer, certainly has an important role to play in that process, which is part of the preaching of the good news.